as more than 1,000 people set off on foot from Honduras towards the United States. President Donald Trump yesterday appeared to defend his administration's policy of separating migrant families at the U.S.-Mexico border.
If they feel there's separation, in many cases, they don't come.
Trump telling reporters outside the White House the zero-tolerance crackdown, under which at least 2,600 migrant children were separated from their parents, is the best way to deter illegal immigration. The president was forced to end his controversial policy after facing public outrage over the separations. But there's a new report from the Washington Post that says the Trump administration is considering a new policy that could again separate migrant families at the U.S.-Mexico border.
In many cases, you have really bad people coming in and using children. They're not their children. They don't even know the children. They haven't known the children for 20 minutes, and they grab children and they use them to come into our country. You got some really bad people out there. We're doing an incredible job.
The Washington Post reported the new plan would make parents choose between two options: stay in a family detention center together as their immigration cases proceed, or send their children to a government shelter so that other relatives can seek custody. As Trump presses for tougher border security, around 1,300 people defying threats of deportation joined the March of the Migrant, a plan to walk through Central America to Mexico. Once in Mexico, organizers say they'll request refugee status or a visa to pass through to the U.S. border. Like many in the group crossing, this man says his family is fleeing a country plagued with violence in hopes of a better life for his two children. Earlier this month, a government audit on President Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy detailed a number of troubling findings. Among them, hundreds of migrant children were detained for far longer than the 3 days allowed at U.S. Border Patrol facilities. And then after the separations, the government struggled to identify, track, and reunify parents and children.